All right, what's going on, everybody? It is Sunday, May 21st, and it is a new week. So, really excited to get started and get this thing going. Last week ended really well um, for at least the trades that I had involved. If you guys were watching the other trades I had, NZD Chief went and smashed take profit. And then, what is it? What was the other one? I forget what the other one was. Hold on. Let me look. It was
NZDJPY.
it was NZD JPY. Oh, it was Euro NZD. I was in Euro NZD. So Euro NZD dropped, which was great, went right to the take profit zone. We had marked up NZD Chief went right to the take profit zone. I had Euro JPY in, and I said in the group, I actually took the loss on that one because the pullback was a lot bigger than I anticipated. And then during the New York session, it just completely reversed and went right up, which it didn't go to the take profit zone I had, but it surpassed the high that I had initially set the trades to, which wasn't bad. It wasn't like a big loss. I still have a major profit. I'm like, what, 2% away from passing the prop firm. So it was good. It was really good. And everything was great. If anybody was in those trades, you made some money. I saw a couple people in the chat. So they took the Euro JPY trade. So I think it's going to be fun, and we're going to reset for this week. So on the top, I already see 2-day PFH. Can't even say it. PFHs and PFLs. So this should be good for maybe at least one of them, and it's a Sunday. So let's see. Let me start with the first one. All right. So we got gold 2-day PFL. Looks good. And I think this is actually one of the pairs we had for a continued drop, but I also reminded people that it was at a low. So let's look at gold. All right, I like it for a rise. Ultimately, because it's been dropping. It did 3 level drops, so you have. Well, let me actually plug this in so I can move my mouse a little bit better. Okay, so we have level 1 drop, consolidation. This is level 2 drop. It was a mini or smaller consolidation essentially, and this was level 3 W formation, level 1, and then we should see a consolidation up to at least this water, right? It's going to match up with the water in the blueberry. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Yeah, so it broke this high, right? That's a break. That's a change of character. Now, I think if anybody saw in the group chat when people were asking what break of structure is, a break of structure is this, right? So you have the downtrend already happening right here, and it forms a low, and then the price continues in that same direction to break the structure of the current trend, right? So that's a break of structure. A change of character is when price is going down, forms a lower high, but then drops back down again and takes it out. So this would be considered a change of character. It's a reversal. It's a reversal term. So if we want to look for buys, we want to look for a consolidation down and then a break of structure. I mean, you can enter in beforehand because it's definitely going to be going up, but once it breaks this high, it's considered a break of structure. But we already got the break of structure confirmation right here. So peak formation, low, break of structure happened on a Friday, level 1 push, consolidation, one more push up to the EMAs. You could take profits here, you could take profit here, or you can hope it's going to go up that far. But I mean, gold moves pretty fast. So, I mean, if you were to grab it right down here at the low, you're getting 153 pips, 160 pips. Like, you don't need more than that. All you need is this quick movement. So if you get trading this pair, definitely be on the lookout. And this is just based on the 1 hour. So let me look at like the weekly because we had a new week. Oh, my water. Thanks. It did drop, but it kind of formed a wick. I don't really see anything in the TDI. One could say that, oh, it dropped beneath the red signal line, which somebody would take for a sell. And I do see that there actually is the triple high formations here. So ultimately, we would want to see something drop. So let me just go down the time frames here because what I just said for a buy could actually be a pullback, right? So, okay, look at this. This is confirmation right here. So this, you got a peak up there. It dropped. It broke structure right there. So we have a or change of character essentially. New low. So anything going up on the short term is a pullback. This is literally what we're looking for. It's a simple pullback. Push up, wherever that's supposed to be. It could be right here, right? Because gold is a technical pair, so it's going to go and bounce off of recent support resistance. So bounce off maybe that high. Let's see where that's at. I'm going to draw a line right there, which it's actually at the 80-hour high, surprisingly. So if I go to the 4-hour, yeah. So at least we have another day push. I like it for overall rise. If you are buying this, like you got at least one more day of this being a buy. And then we could see something for like, so this could be the false move week beginning up, trap some traders to the upside, and then we're going to be seeing a sell. So you can either get your buys in tonight only, or you could just wait for Monday or Tuesday, and then or technically Tuesday, and then wait for the drop back down, because that will happen. It's just a matter of how long is it going to go up. Like I believe it's going to go up to this point, but we'll see. So at least we got one more day of rise. That's pretty. Now we got USD cheap. Oh, we got a chief pair again. I've been waiting for this. USD chief made me some good money too. So peak formation high. Let's see. All right, weekly it's at a low. Was it a peak formation high? Yeah, it was peak formation high. Okay. So here's the low. Didn't break it. Here's this. This still has room to drop. Right? There's no divergence on the TDI. All this shows me right here is that this can continue down like this, right? Continue into that oversold region. What it does between the week, it could stop hunt high, then drop, whatever that is. But ultimately on the weekly, I am seeing more of a push down. This is not a reversal. This is still downtrend. Now the daily, this could have just been the first pullback, right? So we got two options here. Definitely have a peak here from divergence. So let me, price going down, price going up, divergence, oversold shark fin, small shark fin. Then we have break of structure, new high, and then it could consolidate. So what I've seen happen on these pairs, not just these pairs, but anytime a daily hits the EMA, the 50 EMAs, it tends to consolidate for a day or two, right? It doesn't just, oh, it hit it, now it's going to reverse. So I want to say this is going to drop. But it's a matter of when that's going to happen, because this could just be a pullback. But let's take a look at the 4-hour. 4-hour showing a clear sign of at least a rise continuation. So this is still divergent, break of structure. Peak formation was set up here. I don't really, this isn't confirmed for a sell yet. All right. So it says it's got a peak formation, but at the right down here, this would be the peak I'd be looking for it to break. This little low. I mean, this wasn't really a break of structure. See, there's a difference, right? Some people could say, oh, this was the structure that it, or the change of character, but it's not big enough. It's not significant enough like this point or this point, right? See how price really moved against it or really moved against these points? You don't really have that here. So I don't really consider this a solid section for uh, structure to break for it to be a continuation down. So I don't believe this is actually a real peak. I think this is just one of the false peaks. I would wait for it. If it does drop again, cool. But I've seen way cleaner. And I think that this is actually going to go up a bit. And on top of that, too, remember I told you on the daily it could consolidate once it hits that EMA. Look what's happening here. I'm on the 1-hour, but look at the EMAs. They're all tight. So when that happens is we could be seeing something like this. Consolidation, where it rides the line. Rides the line. And then we could see a peak formation low. Maybe it forms a pullback, right? Because this does need to pull back a little bit. And then from there, we can see that push up because it looks like it wants to go up for sure. Just off of just what I'm seeing here, I do believe this wants to continue up. The 4 hour, it broke the Mayo. The next place that it needs to go is up into this area. So I would hold off on this pair. I'm going to see what it does, but it's not the most solid one. So let's see what it does later tomorrow or the next day. GBP AUD. It is a peak formation high from 2 days ago. This is really choppy, but I do like it for a peak formation high though. So weekly, so you hit the blueberry. So it's been consolidating the last month. And then, but it definitely looks like it wants to continue up. This isn't a reversal pattern by it at all. So like, remember, you guys see how I look at the one candles, right? What do we see here? One major bullish candle. Bearish candle doesn't take out the low. Consolidation for 3 weeks, at least 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks have been consolidation, meaning we could be seeing buys, which go back up to the high. Horrible line, but go back up to the high and some. So that's what I'm seeing on the weekly. Let's go to the daily. No break of structure down to the low. And this is a peak formation high. So I'm not seeing anything as of right now that this is a sell. Like, I mean, you got the EMAs, right? The EMAs are open. It is divergent in a sense, but it's not like the cleanest. So if anything, this is it's gonna pull back, but this definitely wants to continue up overall. So let me go to the 4 hour. It's probably just getting ready for a reset, to be honest. I just don't like the way that with the EMAs is set. They're wide open, which does indicate something for a drop, but it would be a short term. Because the weekly I like for a sell. I mean, this weekly could actually drop a little bit more and then rise up. This ultimately does want to go up, but anything going down, I still believe is temporary. That's not actually a reversal. But this is setting up for something like this on the short term. So you have the peak formations up here. You have a break of structure, or change of character. It did form that low. And one could assume that it's going to go up and then drop. Very plausible. The only thing is that it is choppy and it's getting in between the EMAs. So this could just go like continue up. You know what I mean? There's nothing very solid in it. Let me go to the 15. Yeah, I think this is going to continue up a little, like an extra day. The EMA, like this pattern here. I see. It's kind of confusing, but it's not really like that's not a reversal pattern. This is a continuation. So push up, pull back, push up, consolidation, push up again. I would wait on this pair. My gut is not saying take this pair, so I would just leave it alone. Let's see what happens tomorrow, and then we can go from there. But I don't think we're going to need to really worry about it. Now we have NZD CAD. Hello, NZD CAD. I'm liking it. I just like NZD pairs recently. NZD has been like my go-to, and it's actually the pairs I've despised forever. Oops. Let me go to here. Now double check. It's a peak formation low. Okay, so we're looking for buys. Okay, here we go. It's in a consolidation. You got a high up here, but it definitely. I gotta zoom out. Okay, so it's stuck. It's stuck in a channel. Got a big weekly channel that it's in. So we go down to the daily. And what that means, what this tells me is that they have liquidity trapped up here. up here, up here, up here. And if they do drop one more time, it's very possible they'll retest the slow, but they are eventually going to take out this. They are going to go back and grab this liquidity. When? I don't know. But if you were a swing trader that wanted to hold a trade for the next year or two, like you can definitely rely on this to be a buy. Just saying. Daily EMAs are really tight on the daily. See that? Yeah, all of them just jumbled. So what that tells me is just a consolidation. Just anything could really happen. I like the TDI for it to show that it might want to keep going up. So I think it might retest these highs from earlier in the month. So let me 4 hour through that candlestick pattern, didn't take out the low, or it didn't take out the low of the bullish candle. It kind of just met it like right near it, which tells me this is just a pullback and we want to be looking for buys. So this is the weekly. So we could see a stop hunt low, which that gap kind of fills in that low, right? And every time, if you don't know this gap trading, every time they gap and leave an open space, they always fill it. They always fill it. So it's filling the gap. It filled it already. This thing could drop one more time, then go up, just based on what I'm seeing here. And then go up to retest the high, go up to the 80-hour high, or at least this zone where all the channels kind of been stuck at. So now let's go to the 1 hour. And this is a P formation low. So this would be level 1, 2 consolidation. Oh, this is level 1, level 2, level 3, reversal, level 1. This could be looking for drops, to be honest. It looks like it wants to just kind of consolidate. Like it wants to do this. Right? Which kind of leaves people full of emotion and uncertainty. I wouldn't really trade this pair yet. I'm going to wait on it. Not really feeling it. Gold looks better to me, to be honest. Even though that's still looking as a downtrend, it still looks better. But it definitely doesn't look like it wants to just go straight up. It looks like it wants to stop on a little higher and then tank. So, but the peak formation is a low. I'm going to wait on it. I'm going to come back to this tomorrow. So far, it doesn't look like I'm not trading today. Yeah, we got a lot of people joining today. This is awesome. Cad Chief, here's one of my other favorite pairs. I love this pair. And it's a peak formation high. Cad Chief. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Let's go to the weekly. It's a downtrend, so that's a win, right? So we got a peak formation high. We're looking for sells. It's a downtrend. That's solid. Was there any candle? There is divergence, but that is not a good divergence. That is a continuation. Daily. Now, okay, now I remember this pair too, because it had the divergent W, but it really wasn't. It was divergent this way, so this could have been the pullback. Because remember, if you remember last week, I talked about how this push up was the break of the change of character that happened, and then everything else was going to be pulling up. So it finished off the week in that zone. So anything going up is a pullback, mind you, because the overall time frame, overall direction is down. It's bearish. So let's go to the 4 hour. It did break this structure, it did change a character to the downside. This could be the move that kind of sets it up for the drop. So we have trendline liquidity here. It broke through it. Now, most retail traders are probably going to think, oh, retest and drop, which, not going to lie, there are the times where retail style trading does work. They have to make it work. Otherwise, nobody would trade it, right? They have to have some sort of winning strategy off of it. So the fact that it did break this trend on liquidity does give us some good room. So let me go to the 1 hour. I like this. All right, so we got the peak formation here, the big drop, EMA's crossed. One thing, if you didn't know, I don't really talk about it, but when that catch up 13 EMA crosses over that 50 EMA, that is one of the signs of level one. Right, so we have the push down, the break of the change of character. Wow, horrible. Change of character, still horrible, but you get it. And now we have a consolidation. Most likely going to consolidate to this point, and then we're going to see it drop another level. Most likely going to hit this ADR low, which lines up with this low, just a little bit lower, but ultimately this low. And if that plays out, then we're going to have some fun tonight. So I'm definitely looking at CAD Chief. I'm going to write this down on the board. Hold on. Gotta delete this. I got a massive whiteboard in front of me. Like the office I'm in, the whole wall is a whiteboard because it's got whiteboard paint. So I have the luxury of being able to write this down. So gold, and then CAD Chief. Looking for buy on gold and sell on CAD Chief. 15-minute. Oh yeah. This is setting up for a continuation. Where it goes up, drop. So I'm definitely looking for sells on CAD Chief. It might extend the stop hunt a little high, but this is definitely looking good for some sells. So yeah, this is my favorite pair so far. Now let's go to 80 CAD, peak formation low. Weekly, just choppy, not really the best. And I have limited data, only 2021. That's ridiculous. It did form a new low down here, so that's interesting. Daily, it's divergent, definitely choppy. See, that candle kind of took out that low. See how the bearish one took out the low of the bullish? So this would be considered not the pair that we look for when it comes to buys. So I'm gonna do a little bit more research. It is hitting the EMA. It's not divergent, right? So that's one thing. This isn't divergent, which is what I look for in solid reversals. There's no divergence here. So this is only a pullback. 1 hour. There's divergence on the 1 hour, break of structure to the this part right here. So we have a change of character, I should say, a solid change of character. So if this, it's like gold, right? Overall, we want to be looking for a drop, but it looks like this thing has at least another day push up. And this could be the false move week beginning. So let me go to the 15-minute. EMAs are they're all tight here. See. So the EMAs are tight. It could just lead to us. This could just continue up like this. There might not even be a pullback. My advice would to obviously look for a pullback, but ultimately this thing looks like it wants to go up. And because of how long it took to actually break this structure, we could expect the same thing. This could do something like this because this is level one, that whole push when it broke the structure here, that is the overall direction. So now that it hit that level one, there is always a possibility of a consolidation with the EMAs all tight. That kind of proves it. So I don't know if this is actually going to go up to the ADR high and take out this high tonight. I think it's more likely going to just consolidate for a level one consolidation. And then sometime during the middle of the week, we'll see some move, either extend its stop hunt down, then a rise up, or it's going to just consolidate and then just take out the high. So my advice would be to wait on this pair unless you want to hold the trade. But overall, I have this. We still want to be looking for. It's still downtrend. It's not. It's still underneath the 50. We'll see. Not my favorite setup, but it definitely looks like it wants to keep going up, and you can take your profit at that high, recent high. So let's see what happens. And we got Euro AUD. Okay. Okay. Euro AUD is what again? Peak formation high. So we're looking for sells. I like this. We got a new high. Every time there's a new high, there's always a drop. So this was a structure broken. Formed a new high. Pull back. Rise. So now let's zone in on what we could be seeing. I like this. So you have a peak. This isn't the peak, but it's a peak right here. Change of character. Droop down, but this wick makes it so that it actually did make it become a change of character, but it broke structure. So we're seeing consolidation, continuation. The only thing I could see this potentially doing based off of the ZMA or the TDI is two things. Continue up for a second, then drop, or continuation down. But when I see the TDI do this, it usually is a consolidation and a continuation. So, and this is the daily. Let me go to the 4 hour. We have trend line liquidity. Broke down. Could stop hunt high beginning of the week. Then we can see some potential drops. 1 hour. Super tight. Oversold. Was divergent. Some could say this actually could just rise again. Peak formation high. Some 3 days ago. So 1, 2, 3 right here. But the EMAs are tight. So I don't fully trust it to be, it's set up more for a reversal. I mean, look at how Friday ended. EMAs were wide open. And the moment it broke up, it hit this EMA, broke the structure, came back, bounced off the water, and it consolidated ever since. So this is going to continue up tonight at minimum. Your best bet is to wait for a drop, and then you can buy it to there. Even though it's against the peak, that's just what it's doing. This is clear signs of a continuation up. There's no divergence here on the 15-minute. It's not even completely overbought yet. Like, it's gonna drop. And if you see the Bollinger Bands here and the TDI, see how tight they are? What that tells me is that price wants to do something like this, where it just continues up. Not really going to be big pushes, but enough to be able to continue in that direction. So we're going to be looking for buys on that. Let's see. See if we go up to there. You can get like 30 to 40 pips, depending on where you enter. It might be a retest of this, to be honest, where it continues in this direction. So it could be going up to retest this zone, then do a consolidation for Tuesday, Wednesday, and then drop. We shall see, but it's going to be interesting. Let's see. Now we have, I already did all the peak formation. So, all right, well, here's one. That's 6 days old. I'm not touching it. All right, so let me look at the other pairs. I was told US 30. It's got 4-day peak formation low. Weekly, close bullish. Daily, close bearish, but it's still bullish. It's riding that 50. Well, you got that overall small time uptrend from last week and price continuing in this direction. right? So you have 1, 2, 3. It looks like it just wants to continue, especially with that gap. I mean, worst case scenario goes up and then it drops. Because that was a big push, but it needs to fill in some spaces from it. So 15-minute. But this looks like a continue. So this actually isn't a reversal. So it looks like it wants to break, to be honest. Like anytime you see a big push, guys, anytime you see a big push and a consolidation like this is not a reversal consolidation. That's not. I'm just guaranteeing that this is a continuation consolidation. So this is going to drop. This is dropping tonight. And then you have your recent low that you could take it to because that's the first place it's going to go. And if you do trade it, let's say up here, or even if you entered right now, I mean, what, 1,800 pips, which is still baffles my mind sometimes, but it definitely looks like it wants to continue down. Like this is more of a reversal. See this? This is the difference right here. See this? And you got divergence. Like that is more of, this is better because it's spread out. It's open. It definitely wants to make a move. But this, there is no pattern. There is no space and move up to form a pattern. It's drop, consolidation, drop. So I would be expecting another drop on US 30. Now let's look at NOS. Let's see. Weekly, clearly an uptrend. And the weekly just closed up here. It broke this structure. So this is a new uptrend. But with every new high can come a pullback. So definitely look for a pullback and then a potential buy. Daily. What's this? Bullish, bearish, potentially another bearish to then a bullish. No signs of a reversal. It's outside of the shark fin, which tends to show us that it could consolidate or do a small pullback, which if it does drop again, that is the pullback. Shark fin, we want to be looking for some sort of bigger pullback than this. I mean, I don't trade this pair specifically, but look how far this thing goes. It's ridiculous. This thing looks like it just wants to continue. So you got two options. Oh, sorry. You got two options: consolidation, buy to the recent high, or it's going to break this 50, reverse, drop, meet up with the Mayo, then midweek reversal back up. It's just it's too high. It kind of goes against my rule, and it's actually why I lost last week on Euro JPY, was because you're supposed to buy low, sell high, and I bought EJ at a high, and it pulled back, and I lost. So my gut is saying avoid this. One, I'm not going to trade it first off, but because I don't trade these pairs, but I would say wait, because if you do get in for a buy and you're too early, I mean, these pairs move fast and you got another drop, and the EMAs, look how fanned out they are. Here, they weren't fanned out, right? They weren't that fanned out to the point. So the continuations were a little bit more probable. When the EMAs are like this, it usually just means continuation. Now, but when they fan out, when they're wide open, that's when you can expect some reversals. So all the signs I'm seeing say it wants to pull back. So I'm gonna wait. I would say wait for this to do a pullback, and then sometime in the middle of the week, or if you want to ride the sell, you can ride the sell. Wait for a stop hunt high to form some sort of pattern up top, and then you can look for a sell, or you could just wait for the break of structure down and then catch a pullback. Because if this drops, it's definitely going to the ADR low. It's just a matter of when that's going to happen. So If you want to be safe, wait till tomorrow, wait for the middle of the week, and then we can go from there. Now we got, was that a buy or sell? A sell. Oh, I'll be looking for sells just because of what it's set up to be. It doesn't, nothing's telling me it's a buy. Now, what was the, no, there was a question. AUD, USD, and Link. Okay. I don't know if I have Link on this, but I'll look at AUD, USD. So it's got a peak formation high from 8 days ago. Should be interesting. Broke that structure. All right, weekly. Still bearish. Let's go to the daily. It's just consolidating. I don't even think this trend line means anything. I think that's just there on accident because this can just keep going like this. Right? There's no definitive direction. So let's go to the 4 hour. It is divergent. So it's hitting a wall right here. It broke structure on a 1 hour, barely. I would say this is going to continue. The only thing that has me questioning it is this. It didn't break this. It threw wicks, which is two signs of either continuation that way, like, oh, it formed a new high, barely, or it trapped a trader. The fact is the EMAs are fanned out. So I would say, and the way the TDI set up, that's not a reversal. So if it does drop, it's got to go up a little bit and then drop, but that doesn't really, it's not overbought yet. Like the best time for reversals is during when price is overbought or oversold. That's just clean. So my gut instinct is saying to continue in that direction. So I would be looking for buys in that direction if I was trading this pair. But everything is telling me to look for those buys. Even though that would be the reversal. I mean, smartest thing to do would be continue in that peak formation, but I probably wouldn't, to be safe for whoever's looking at this, I would probably wait for this to break this high. All right, once it breaks clear as day that high, it has no choice but to continue. So the fact that it hasn't yet, there's going to be that question of, is it a secured buy or do I just continue? Because this could go up and then just drop again because it's stuck in that consolidation. So I would wait, honestly, before I touch this pair for a buy. For secure. Wait for this point to break. Once it breaks this point, then you're good. If not, no biggie. Because you can get stuck in consolidation. You'll be staring at your charts all night. So I don't want you to do that. Now, I want to see what Euro NZD looks like. Just because I've been looking at these pairs. So new low, setting up for some divergence. It's not oversold yet though. So anything going down, anything going up would be a pullback. Hit that blueberry. No divergence here. That's not divergence. So if it goes up, it's setting up for a continuation drop. It broke structure. Let me delete this. Go away. There we go. Okay. So broke structure here. Short-term break of structure. Change of character, I should say. It's going to go up to here. Once it goes up to here, we're either going to see a continuation down or we're going to see a break, pullback high, in which case I will then be looking for sells. So I'm not really going to touch this pair yet. I want to see what it does. And then once it gets up to that point, I might consider a buy if it does break. But until then, it's not really a solid buy. It's a short-term buy. right? Because the if you want to really buy this, it needs to break up here because it's not a true reversal. I mean, the EMAs are fanned out, so the most you'd get is a break to the structure high, which actually could be here, and then we wait for a pullback, and then you buy it to where the Mayo meets, and that's your take profit. So if that happens, might not. I don't know if that's going to happen tonight, but it could happen on Tuesday. We'll get 100 something pips, and this pair moves fast, and I like it. So, but that's really much it. I mean, do you guys have any questions or other pairs you want me to go over? It's a Sunday. It's slow. Most of the pairs are consolidating. I like gold for a temporary buy. I like CAD sheaf for a continuation down. That's my favorite setup so far. So I might just focus on just that pair tonight, to be honest. And then yeah, we'll go from there. If you're US 30 continuation down, like this is all continuation. So I will be waiting for some sort of stop hunt high and then a drop. But if nobody's got any questions, we are gonna come back to you guys tomorrow. It should be fun. And make this the last full week. This is the last full week I'm doing chart analysis for free. So get it in while you can. Make some fucking money. Take advantage. Do something. Like, you all can do it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, or message me in the chats and I'll comment in there. Peace out, guys.